Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the acceptance address by the Chief Guest, Srimati Rajashree Birla, the recipient of the 25th Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence 2024. I take special pride in welcoming our Chief Guest, Mrs. Rajashree Birla, Chairperson, Aditya Birla Center for Community Initiatives and Rural Development. Ma'am, it's a privilege to have you amongst us today. I would also like to welcome Shri Anil Shastri, Chairman, Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Shri Sunil Shastri, Trustee, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Memorial Trust, members of the Board of Governors and the members of Advisory Board, eminent media personalities, members of the faculty and staff, other distinguished guests, and dear students. At the outset, I would like to request our Chief Guest, Mrs. Birla, Shri Anil Shastri, Mrs. Manju Shastri, Professor Praveen Gupta, to light the ceremonial lamp and pay floral tributes at the portrait of Bharat Ratna, Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri. Thank you, everyone. I request all the dignitaries to kindly take their seats on the stage. Thank you, sir. Although it is extremely difficult to do justice in introducing Mrs. Rajashree Birla, the recipient of the 25th Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence 2024, I shall endeavor to highlight her remarkable contributions. As a prominent philanthropist and a visionary leader, Mrs. Birla has dedicated her life to fostering social development and education, particularly in the underprivileged communities. Through her social and welfare-driven work in 9,000 villages, the Aditya Birla Group has been successful in reaching out to 11 million people, 20 hospitals, 5,000 medical camps, and 56 schools all across India. These institutions, which are not-for-profit, and the endeavors under her stewardship have left an indelible mark on the lives of millions of Indians. Her unwavering commitment to uplifting others through various initiatives in healthcare, education, women empowerment exemplifies the true spirit of service. In recognition of her exemplary achievements, Mrs. Rajashree Birla has been showered with accolades from reputed national and international bodies. The G20 Empower Award for Lifetime Achievement, the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Walk Hard Foundation, the Polio Eradication Champion Award by the President of India, to name a few. As a crowning glory for her selfless service to humanity, Mrs. Rajashree Birla has been given India's third highest civilian award, the Padma Bhushan, by the Government of India in social work in 2011. In recognition of her sterling contribution in the field of social work, the 25th Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence 2024 has also been conferred upon Mrs. Rajashree Birla. May I now request Shri Anil Shastri, holding trustee, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Memorial Trust, to please deliver the welcome address. Please, sir.
Respected Srimati Rajashree Birla ji, the Director of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Dr. Praveen Gupta, Mr. Sunil Shastri, President of Lal Bahadur Shastri Seva Niketan. We also have amongst us Excellencies, Ambassador of Sri Lanka, Ambassador of Uzbekistan, and Ambassador of Philippines. We have with us members of the jury which does the selection process, and Mr. Anil Razdan, former Secretary of the Government of India, and also member of the jury. He's been associated with us for a very, very long time, being a trustee of the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Trust. We also have amongst us Major LBSIM, who's also been associated with the family, Shastri's family, for a long time. He knew my elder brother, he knows the entire family, and he's always there on such occasions. And of course, all distinguished guests present here this afternoon, and not the least, the faculty of the Institute of Management named after Shastri ji, and of course, the students of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management. I see them also sitting in the balconies as well. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, at the outset, I would like to, on my own behalf and on behalf of all of you present here, congratulate and extend my best wishes to Srimati Rajashree Birla for having received the coveted Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence 2024 this morning by the Vice President of India, Shri W. Dhankar. And let me tell you that when I spoke to her about a month ago announcing this award, she was delighted, and she said that she was honored to have received this award. She has received other awards also in the past, but the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award is special for her because it's a standalone award, and on this day, whenever we give awards, only one awardee. In fact, a group president from her office asked me, who are the other awardees? I said, no, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award is given each year only to one person, one eminent person, and Rajashree Birla ji is the only person. And I think the best today, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar, the Vice President, said that there could not have been a better choice by the jury in favor of Srimati Rajashree Birla, who has been a noted social activist and philanthropist. And of course, very briefly, Gitanjali Shahi, Dr. Gitanjali Shahi mentioned about her work that she has undertaken over the years. And of course, the citation, if you go through, that also gives you an idea of what she has done. And it is indeed my privilege that I'm here today to be speaking to you in the presence of Rajashree ji. In fact, as I said in the morning that I missed meeting you in the United States of America last year, September. You were also there and I was also there. And there was a Guardian Society program where I was also invited and you were also invited. And the organizers were trying to get both of us together at the same time. Somehow there was a time clashed and we couldn't meet each other. But anyway, I am proud to be sitting next to you on the stage today. And let me also say that Rajashree ji's grandfather-in-law, G.D. Birla, Ghanshyam Das Birla ji, who was a pioneer, known. He was also a freedom fighter. He participated actively in the freedom movement. And Mahatma Gandhi lived in his house at Birla House in Delhi, which is now, of course, called Gandhi Smriti. And he was assassinated there also on 30th January, the same premises. And the Birla family decided to convert it into a museum, a memorial for Mahatma Gandhi, and it is known today as Gandhi Smriti. I also, I mentioned the morning, but very few people were present there. And this was, way back in the mid-50s when I was, I think, class 2, 3, I don't remember. But I do remember my father having asked me if he would like to come along with him in an aircraft. Until then, I had never flown. I had never taken a flight. So it was my first flight in my life that I traveled with my father. And it was a Dakota aircraft which belonged to Sri G.D. Birla, your grandfather-in-law. It belonged to G.D. Birla ji, and we were there. And Rajashree ji told me today, this morning, that Dakota aircraft is kept as an exhibit at the Birla Institute of Technology and Science, Pilani, where my youngest brother also did his graduation. So when we were flying and we were landing, the Dakota aircraft at that time was, in terms of pressure, was not pressurized as well as modern day aircrafts are. As a result of which, when the plane was landing, I was not, there was acute pain in the ears, as it happens, for the first time flyers, but not, as I said, in today, the modern day aircrafts. And it was so painful, it was unbearable. My father told that try to bear it for some more time as we would land. But Birla ji, he looked at me and he gave me a toffee. He said, you chew the toffee and chew it as long as you can, you will not have pain. And I did get relief from the pain that I remember. And the second thing I told you in the morning was that Birla ji told Shastri ji once that, you need some rest. Why don't you go and stay in our guest house in Mussoorie? Which he did. And the entire family went there to Mussoorie. And I said that I would definitely like to go and have a look at that guest house and take me back to my school days. And Rajashree said that yes, the Birla house still exists in Mussoorie. So these are the two incidents that I remember of Birla ji and the family. And of course, Rajashree ji's husband, Sri Aditya Birla ji, was known. Of course, he died young. It's unfortunate. But his contribution to the growth of Indian industry was immense. And the legacy has been carried forward by his son, that is Rajashree ji's son, Kumaramanglam Birla. He was to be available today, but he had to suddenly go abroad, as a result of which he couldn't come. But I would request Rajashree ji that your visit here would not end here also. We would definitely like you to visit the Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and address the students there. And we also will be grateful if you bring your son along, Kumaramanglam Birla. Because let me tell you, your family has contributed immensely to the growth of Indian economy. And you have been real wealth creators in the true sense of the word. I mean, the wealth that you have created has given a boom to the Indian economy. And if we are today, and we compare with other neighbors, I mean, for example, one of the reasons has been that we have never depended on foreign aid and foreign countries. And that reminds me that when India was fighting Pakistan in 1965, at that time, America decided to stop giving wheat to India. And Shastri ji was the Prime Minister, and he said nothing doing. This would be, I cannot compromise with the self-respect of the Indian people. And he said, I don't want your wheat. And he appealed to the people of this country to miss a meal once a week so that the food shortages warded off. And I think that was the foundation for the Green Revolution was laid there. And Shastri ji also went to Anand. Incidentally, Irma Anand, the director, is also the member of the Board of Governors of our institute. And he went to Anand, he met, Dr. Kurian met him, and that was the time that the National Dairy Development Board was constituted, because Shastri ji told Dr. Kurian that what you are doing in Anand, what you are doing in Gujarat, you must replicate in other parts of the country. And the seat for the White Resolution also was sown at that time. And it is today, I mean, there is no problem as far as the mill is concerned. And let me tell you that if Shastri ji is remembered, not because he was my father, if he is remembered today, he is remembered today basically primarily. Of course, he was honest, integrity was unquestionable, but he taught the people of India how to live with self-respect and not to compromise with self-respect. And that is why he is remembered. इन्होंने गर्व से जीना सिखाया. And that is the reason that he is remembered today. His slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, still resonates across the length and breadth of our nation. And with this, I once again would like to welcome Rajashree ji, all of you here, and also extend my best possible wishes for all your future endeavors. And I am so sure you are going to do a lot. I have only one request to make, that you please visit the Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and see what we are doing, and in a very modest way. And of course, you visited the Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial, and wish you all the best again. Thank you very much.
Shri Anilji Shastri, Dr. Praveen Gupta, Philippines Ambassador, Honorable Josel Ignacio, and the distinguished audience. I feel humbled, overwhelmed, and deeply honored. I am grateful to Anilji Shastri and the illustrious panel of judges for naming me for the prestigious Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence. We hold Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, a former beloved Prime Minister, in great admiration and respect. He was an epic man, among the most respected, admired, and a beloved leader of our country in those challenging war times. So this award means a lot to me and my son Kumar Mangalam, and in fact all the family members besides our 1,087,000 colleagues across the group. It is a validation of our work in the developmental field and motivates us even more. My grandfather-in-law, Shri Ghanshyam Dasji Birla, my husband Aditya ji, and I were truly struck by Shastri ji's saintliness, simplicity, and love of the nation. I would also like to say how much we admire Anilji Shastri, the remarkable way in which not only does he personally follow the values of Sri Lal Bahadur Ji Shastri, but endeavors to spread his message of truth, integrity, courage, compassion, and authenticity, among others. So let me reiterate that talking to all of you is a defining moment in my life. Mulling over the topic of my talk, I looked in on one's life script and how values become one's life force, and several takes culled out from this journey. In the totality of one's experience in a life spanning several decades, the foundations laid during the formative years can never be overestimated, and most of us are rooted in these precepts. Among these, 5 principles from my life force. The first is being mindful that respect and dignity of the human being is paramount and is agnostic in every sense. So Lal Bahadur Shastri ji was the epitome of his sense of mindfulness. Regardless of one's station in life, as so well said by Sir John Templeton, the American philanthropist, While it is nice to be important, it is even more important to be nice. To be kind and compassionate follows when you pursue this path. You discover the uniqueness of people. In a similar vein, recall Michelangelo's seminal quote, "Inside every block of stone dwells a beautiful statue." Similarly, inside every human being dwells a divine you. Remove the excess material to unravel the beauty within. Ever so often, you'll find people losing their cool over minor issues. The spirit of aggression and not tolerance consumes the person at that point in time and further accentuates the issue. Supposedly, there is a hurt to one's self-image, and a whole lot of negativity stems from the entire process. I am a great believer of the Gita. Listening to Prarajikaji Divyanandaparna, one of the most spiritual gurus, is truly an uplifting and enlightening experience as she walks us through the Gita in a down-to-earth manner. Many of my precepts flow from her talks. The Gita teaches us the negation of negativity, the negation of untoward, unkindly feelings towards fellow human beings, and feelings that rise out of disappointment consequent to unfulfilled desires, aspirations, and more often relationships, all of which hinge on expectations. Anger due to frustration in any of these is the undesirable outcome. Anger can blind a person any which way. On the other hand, self-restraint or self-control is a reflection of immense mental strength. On all counts, the Gita is the stairway to a higher purpose in life, as Prarajika Devyanandaparna asserts. It teaches how to transcend oneself through contemplation, self-control, and meditation, and compassion as well. All of which helps quieten the chatter of the mind, which ceaselessly flits from one issue to the other. The Gita teaches you how to master the mind through following the path that it enshrines. It transposes you to an entirely higher plane, giving you inner peace and a kind of tranquility. Today, more than ever, most people all over the world are seekers of this inner peace. People have begun to realize the need for self-control in the midst of unrelenting stress. From this flows the second point, which is to lay store on the power of positivity. One can do so by not letting any seepage of negativity into the thought process. One believes that to have positivity, one must set aside some time as reflective time. It invariably stokes moments of quietude, leading to inner peace and lifting one's spirit. Moving on to the Karma Yogi concept, its ethos says that the fruits of efforts are not ours to aspire for. We must let them come from the Lord whenever He wishes to bestow these upon us. This is one of the best lessons from the Gita. For in a way, it urges us to be totally selfless in our work, to dedicate our work as an offering to the Almighty, to enjoy this journey of life without any expectations. As Prarajika Devyanandaparna says, the Karma Yogi is one who does actions, which is karma as a yogi, which is without attachment and be totally detached. Detachment is of the will and not of the action. The Gita asserts, perform your duties equipoised, abandoning all attachments to success or failure. Thirdly, for many seekers like me, spiritualism is a great route and no better anchor than faith in God and, of course, family. Spirituality means acceptance of what is, the ability to find peace and happiness in an imperfect world, and to feel that one's own personality is imperfect but acceptable. From this state of mind come both creativity and the ability to love unselfishly, which go hand in hand. Ours, Bernie Siegel, American writer. Fourth is to constantly reinvent yourself. It is core reinvention is not just adapting to the tectonic shifts in technology, but also embracing a more deeper and philosophical view of life. Today's parents and children belong to the I generation, a clickable generation. From sunrise to sunset, and often into the still of the night, life is centered on the iPhone, the iPad, and the internet 24/7. While I do welcome these fast-paced changes and how they help advance knowledge, but I believe somewhere this generation, across parents, teachers, and students, is losing out on the human touch and many other issues. It will be worthwhile to put up the ante here and make the necessary shifts. With this little aside, one would like to reiterate that transcending into a philosophical tenor of leaving behind the baggage of the past is critical. Forgiving is a source of freedom, as you hold nothing against anyone. I would like to reiterate that no unsavory episodes should be sequestered in the mind. One was taught never to despise anyone. Instead, look at the point of discomfort and trying to find its genesis, training yourself in the process to rise above them. One understood that everyone in some way or the other is fighting a hard battle. Fifthly and finally, an attitude of gratitude was constantly dinned into our heads. All of us are a very privileged class. We are fortunate with a great parentage and good education, and honestly speaking, never starved for want of the integral necessities of life. For this we are grateful, but it behoves us to reach out to those underprivileged and think beyond yourself. And one question that we had to always ask of ourselves before we hit the bed in the quiet of the night was what we have done today that makes us proud. To end with a quote of Mother Teresa, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Each one of us is the author of the book of our life, and each one scripts his or her own story. And this is one's story of life. Thank you once again for the honor, and God bless.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. May I now request Professor Praveen Gupta, Director, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, to kindly present a memento to our chief guest, Mrs. Rajashree Birla, as a token of our appreciation. May I now request Professor Praveen Gupta to kindly deliver the words of thanks.
Respected Chairman, Board of Governors, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Shri Anil Shastri ji, recipient of 25th Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for Excellence, Mrs. Rajashree Birla ji, dignitaries, ambassadors from the Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Uzbekistan, members of the Shastri family, dignitaries from Birla Group, member of the jury, faculty colleagues, and students. It is my privilege to express words of thanks on this special occasion. Mrs. Rajashree Birla ji has wonderfully expressed her feelings. How can one be participating in the economic pursuit and yet be a karma yogi and feel a little detached from the wealth creation? With her words of wisdom, I must say the entire audience here, especially the faculty and students, must be inspired and they must be guided in their future endeavors. Thank you, Mrs. Rajashree Birla ji. My special thanks to Chairman Shri Anil Shastri ji for guiding us on this occasion, and as always, the minute planning, I think it is amazing. Thank you, sir. My special thanks to all the audience, dignitaries, member of the jury for gracing the occasion. Special thanks is reserved for Birla Group executives who have wonderfully coordinated with us in the last 3 to 4 weeks for organizing this event. My thanks is also reserved for the Director General and the staff of National Museum, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, the faculty, the administrative staff who have worked tirelessly to organize this event. Thank you once again, all the dignitaries, for guiding and gracing the occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At today's program, I thank you all for gracing this occasion with your esteemed presence. I would like to request our dignitaries and guests to join us for high tea. Thank you and have a great evening. Thank you.